When we think about essential minerals, names like calcium and vitamin D usually steal the spotlight. But there's this other mineral, one that's working tirelessly behind the scenes in, well, pretty much every single part of your body. And it's so often overlooked. So today, let's pull back the curtain on this unsung hero, magnesium.
So just how important is it? Well, this number, it really says it all. Magnesium is a critical helper molecule in more than 300 essential enzymatic reactions in your body. Think of it like this. It's the spark plug that ignites hundreds of your body's most vital processes, everything from creating energy to building your DNA. Now this is where it gets really interesting. Look where your body actually keeps its magnesium. A whopping 60% is in your bones. Another 39% is tucked away in your muscles and soft tissues. But look at that tiny little sliver. Less than 1% is actually circulating in your blood. And this is a super important point because it means a standard blood test, it just can't give you the full picture of your body's total magnesium supply.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with how your body makes energy. Then we'll zoom out to see how magnesium is tied to your bones, how it keeps your heart beating right, and finally, why it's known as nature's ultimate relaxation mineral.
Okay, so where does this all begin? Well, it starts at the very heart of energy production itself. We're going to go right inside the powerhouse of our cells, the mitochondria, to see how magnesium literally fuels your life. So inside every cell, your body is constantly making this molecule called ATP. You can think of ATP as the universal fuel for absolutely everything, from your heart beating to your brain firing off thoughts to your muscles moving. It's basically the body's version of cash. But here's the catch. In its raw form, ATP is actually pretty unstable. It's like having a wallet full of cash that you can't actually spend. It needs a partner, a buddy to stabilize it before your body can actually use it. And you guessed it, that partner is magnesium. And this shows the process perfectly. That raw ATP has to bind to a magnesium ion, and when it does, it becomes something called MgATP. Now that is the real usable energy currency of your body. In fact, pretty much all the ATP in your cells is actually in this MgATP form. Without magnesium, your body's entire energy system would just stop.
So what does a breakdown in this system actually feel like in real life? Well, when your magnesium levels are low, your cells can't make that usable energy efficiently. And that leads directly to some really common symptoms. That feeling of being tired all the time, even when you get enough sleep, muscle weakness or those annoying cramps, and that classic brain fog where you just can't seem to focus.
Okay, from the tiny world of our cells, let's zoom way out to our skeleton. As we saw a minute ago, our bones are the body's #1 storage spot for magnesium. It's not just a mineral we need for bone health, it's a huge part of the bones themselves.
Remember this number? A full 60% of all the magnesium in your body is physically located in your bones. It's not just passing through. It's a fundamental part of your bone structure, giving it strength and physical integrity.
But magnesium is doing more than just sitting there. It has this incredible two-part job. Its direct role is being part of the bone crystal itself and helping out the cells that build new bone. But its indirect role is maybe even more important. It helps regulate the hormones and vitamins, like vitamin D, that manage calcium in your body. So it's not just a brick in the wall, it's also the construction manager for the whole building site. So the bottom line from all the research is pretty clear. When you look at everything magnesium does for our bones, it's really no surprise that study after study now points to magnesium deficiency as a serious risk factor for developing osteoporosis. All right, next up, the cardiovascular system. This is where we see magnesium in a delicate dance with another major mineral, a dance that is absolutely essential for keeping our heart beating smoothly. Here is the simplest, most powerful way to think about it. If calcium's job is to tell a muscle to contract, magnesium's job is to tell it to relax. It's like a natural off switch. In your heart and your blood vessels, you need that perfect balance of squeeze and relax for a steady rhythm and healthy blood flow. And its benefits for the heart are huge. It helps keep your blood vessels relaxed and flexible, which is key for healthy blood pressure. It maintains that steady rhythm, it also helps prevent arteries from hardening, and it supports the health of the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels. And we can actually see this in clinical trials. When you pool the results from a bunch of studies, you see that magnesium supplementation leads to a modest, but a very real and significant reduction in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. It's a clear sign of just how important it is for our entire cardiovascular system.
For our final stop, we're heading to the nervous system. This is where magnesium really earns its famous reputation as the ultimate relaxation mineral, helping to bring a sense of calm to both your body and your mind.
So, how does it pull this off? Well, it's like a four-pronged approach to chilling out. First, it activates calming receptors in your brain called GABA receptors, which helps quiet down an overactive mind. It also helps your body produce melatonin, the sleep hormone. It's been shown to lower levels of cortisol, the main stress hormone. And, just like in the heart, it helps your muscles all over your body relax, easing that physical tension.
Because of all these powerful calming effects, some researchers have lovingly nicknamed magnesium the original chill pill. And honestly, it's the perfect way to sum up its amazing ability to help our bodies switch out of that fight or flight mode and into a state of rest and digest.
So, after all that, seeing how critical magnesium is for our energy, our bones, our hearts, and our minds, you might be thinking, okay, great, I need to make sure I'm getting enough. But that leads to a really important question for us today. If it's so vital, why are so many of us running low?
Well, there are a couple of major culprits. First off, our modern diets are loaded with processed foods that have been stripped of their natural minerals, including magnesium. And on top of that, our soil is more depleted than it used to be, so even whole foods might have less than they once did. Second, chronic stress. As we just saw, stress burns through our magnesium stores, which creates this vicious cycle, where stress uses up magnesium, and then low magnesium makes us feel even more stressed.
And look, if you decide to try a supplement, it is so important to know that not all magnesium is the same. It can be confusing, but this chart breaks it down perfectly. Look at that bioavailability column. That's how much your body can actually absorb. Forms like bisglycinate and citrate are fantastic, with over 80–90% absorption. But then look way down at the bottom, at magnesium oxide. Its absorption can be as low as 4%. It's often the cheapest one on the shelf, but it's just not very effective for actually getting your body's levels up.
So, we've seen how this forgotten mineral, this master conductor of our body's orchestra, is quietly powering just about everything. The only question left to ask yourself is, are you giving your body enough of this essential fuel to truly run at full capacity?